Well, welcome.
Oh, old man over here.
I just got my ass kicked. Welcome back to Sea Stories with Mr. Durite with your host, Mr. Durite, and my lovely co-host,
So Wong.
Ouch. And in today's show, Soapbox. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Tim Pruitt.
Oh, I think I know him. Sounds familiar.
I think you know him too. So Wong.
Yes.
Finally got off her butt and found us a special guest to bring on the show. Gave me a week off, which was excellent, and we are going to delve into this man's career and what he's doing today.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting. He was telling me stuff
I'm
about
happy to call him a friend.
and it was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would be cool if you interrupted me and you finished my sentences, but then you say something that's like totally different from what I was saying, and it don't even fit. So, anyway, we're going to get into that interview right after this. Randall?
This is Sea Stories with your host, Mr. Durite, and the lovely So Wong. If you're a vet, about to be a vet, or thinking of becoming a vet, this is the show for you. So be on hot standby for laughs, tears, and the nuttiest duo since Laverne and Shirley. Laverne and Shirley. Guys, you're telling your age right now. Mr. Durite, So Wong, let's start the show.
And welcome back. Boy, if you can see what's going on behind the scenes, boy, you will see some crazy stuff. But if you want to see what happens behind the scenes, you should go to Periscope and check us out because we do a live behind the scenes show on there. And you'll see some crazy stuff that you don't see on camera. Like who really wins the fights between me and So Wong. Anyway, so Wong, I'll let you do the honors today.
Yes. I'm very, very happy to introduce today our very special guest and a friend of mine, Tim Pruitt.
Hello.
Hi, Tim. Thank you for being on the show.
You're welcome.
And
Thanks
he's wearing
for
a
inviting me.
lovely color, purple. I love it. It just stands out. Isn't purple a great color, Mr. Durite? Why, yes, it is, so long. It is a wonderful color. I thought you would agree. Tim has military, not only does he have military background, but he's doing really interesting stuff, also pursuing his passion, and we'll get a glimpse of that in a little bit as well. Wonderful. Thank you for being here. So, should I ask the first question, or would you like to, Mr. Durite?
No, you're doing a great job running your mouth, so just continue doing it.
Yes,
man.
you're doing a great job, so Wong. You go ahead and do the entire show. Oh, well, all right then. Thank you, Mr. Durite. First question. Which branch did you serve, and how long was your service?
Well, I'm currently serving in the Texas State Guard on the Army side, and it's been 13 years.
Wow.
So, yes.
13 years. Okay, so not a veteran. You're current.
Yes, I'm current.
All right. Well, you guessed it right, didn't you? You guessed Texas State Guard.
Negatory.
Oh,
I didn't
did.
know anything about Texas State Guard until he walked in the door and told me he was in the Texas State Guard. I never even heard of the Texas State Guard. What I said was she said, "Oh, well, he does aerial photographs and stuff like that." I said, "Oh, he may have been in the Air Force because a lot of Air Force, you get that pilot training, you take photographs and stuff like that, aerial stuff." I'm like, he must have been in the Air Force. His friend didn't know what the hell he did. So, and so when he comes in, I said, "Well, tell me something about yourself," because she didn't really know what the hell you did. He was like, "Oh, no problem. I was in the Texas Guard."
I
And I
know
was
the
like,
other side of Tim. I know the other life of Tim.
"We'll see."
Well, hey, you learned something new. You didn't know.
No.
See
It's
there?
really interesting.
You're
and I
welcome.
want to get into it.
Thank you very much, So Wong. You are so awesome.
This is not your show.
I know,
Anyway.
it's both our shows.
So, let's try to continue on with the show. And it's interesting guest we got. So, next question would be, what commands did you serve under?
Oh, I started out up in Fort Worth area under the 4th Regiment. It was military police battalion. Did that for several years, and we converted over to civil affairs. And then from that, I transferred down to Austin to the headquarters, as public affairs specialist. And that's currently where I'm serving now. This is year number 4 that I've been doing public affairs work.
So the headquarters for the Texas...
Actually, the Texas National Guard headquarters, the whole Texas Military Department is based out at Camp Mabry, Texas.
Okay. See?
That's here in Austin.
We making strides for knowledge right here because I don't know none of this stuff. I'm completely out of my element. But it's cool stuff.
Yeah,
cool stuff. So
what's the difference between the public, would you say public service?
Affairs?
Public affairs and civil affairs?
Civil affairs is basically what our civil affairs units were doing, or augmenting or force multiplying civil authorities in emergency management or natural disaster type situations. So we would provide troops to help shore up, for law enforcement or wildfire, just any kind of disaster that can go on. We're there to help.
Okay. And public affairs?
And public affairs is the kind of the whole media part of it, where it's the website, magazines.
Is that where the photography comes in? Oh.
So yeah, interviewing, leading media around whenever we've got exercises going on. So I mean, we do a lot of that.
Do you wrangle in co-hosts and stuff?
I probably can.
I need to get your card after this.
No, you're staying on this show.
No, I get his card to wrangle you.
Oh.
Wrangle.
I have to think about that.
So,
well, it sounds like a lot of fun, the public affairs.
Yes.
Cool. And we'll get to see a little bit of that a little bit later. Okay. So, what is one of your coolest experiences while serving?
Public affairs work is great because that gives me a glimpse into different jobs that other soldiers do in the military. Whether it's going on a training mission, flying in helicopters to go do an assault somewhere, or storms, or just whatever we're doing, I'm there to document it, take pictures, and be a part of it.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, anytime you load up, with gear and hop in the back of a Chinook helicopter and fly somewhere, and they drop you off in the middle of nowhere, that's pretty high on the excitement list.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. So, while you have been serving, because you are currently serving, what is the coolest thing that you have laid your eyes on while you've been in?
I'm a weapons guy, so I like...
We're pulling it out.
So I mean, you get a chance to experience and put your hands on the toys that you wouldn't normally get to do or use in civilian life.
I smell a story.
Yeah. So like what? What was that one time that you're like, oh, and you had that moment where you felt like this is why I do it? What was the weapon? Making love to the weapon over here. What was that weapon? That first time that you actually got to do that, what was that like?
If you need me to help you, I can prime the pump for you. You want me to tell you? So we had some, I don't even know the guns, big shotgun machine guns. It was beautiful, and we was set up, and they was pointed like this. And one guy would be laying on one side, another guy laying on the other side. I think, I wish I could remember what the guns were. No, it was 50 cal. I wish it was. Oh my gosh, I wish it was a 50 cal.
Look, they're geeking out here.
We was doing talking M60s. Maybe it was an M60. So you only could pull the trigger for so long. You didn't want to overheat the barrel. Yeah. So it was bah. Then the other guy bah. It was keeping the bullets going down range. We was tearing up the target. Bah. Oh my goodness, you talk about a great time. And then one of the rounds popped off and hit him in the back. You know how hot the rounds are.
Yes.
They say you just you're like, oh, this day just gets better and better. So you got one of those experiences?
Actually, I've had more of those experiences, kind of doing my other side of my work, but as far as from the guard side, probably not necessarily the weapon aspect, but I'm a aviation buff.
Right.
But like I say, anytime I'm around rotary wing aviation, it's just awesome. The Chinook for one, big powerful helicopter, lifts just about anything. Just feeling the power and, you know, all that stuff.
Was there a particular incident, a particular time or mission that you got to accompany the troops on? Okay, that's memorable for you? Like, you're like, oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, anytime you get up at dark 30 and they load you in the back and fly you out somewhere you have no, you know you're in Texas, but you just don't know where because they're out in the middle of, and they drop you off and they leave.
So that actually happened. And where was it? Can you say?
Well, actually, it was out in Fort Walters. That's a National Guard training base out there, Mineral Wells, Texas area. We were actually providing ops force, you know, for the National Guard. So the State Guard, we all dressed up as, you know, terrorists or whatever you call it, and provided bad guys for the National Guards on the next lift that came out, and so they'd go out there and kill everybody.
So you pretended to be the enemy to be shot
at. I got a chance to watch, you know. but they were pretending to be the enemy because there were several units in the National Guard that were getting ready to deploy to Iraq at the time.
Oh my
So that was a way to, as like I was saying, you know, we help out as a State Guard to help give them the training that they were going to need when they did deploy.
Wow.
So,
and what was your role? You were taking pictures.
I was
for
actually
the training?
taking pictures and documenting. You know,
wow.
event, so.
Did people actually get beat up as part of it, or oh, okay?
Oh. We're all on the same team.
Well, I was going to say, maybe they took that training seriously, huh?
So yeah.
So that was a tough question. I don't know if you noticed, but he really never pinpointed something. But I'm gonna let you go. You might be sitting on some classified information that we don't need to be knowing. So I'm cool with that. But you gotta give me something pinpointed for this one. There's no way you can escape this question. No way. What was your proudest moment while being in?
Honestly, Hurricane Katrina, Rita. We were deployed, you know, to help a lot of the citizens that were displaced due to the storms, and just the sheer amount of people that were coming to Texas from New Orleans. We basically set up centers, you know, whether it was down at Kelly Air Force Base, Dallas Convention Center, out in East Texas, and we were doing intake. People that were literally plucked off of rooftops, you know, put on a bus, brought here. You know, when you got them off the bus, they smelled like gasoline, baby diapers filled, you know, with the gas-filled water. I mean, it was pretty emotional, but we had a job to do. And, you know, so a lot of times, you know, you see the military helping other citizens in other countries across the world, but it was great to be able to be here in our own home, taking care of the people that needed our help. That's one of our mottos, you know, Texas serving Texans, you know, because we were here, even though it was, you know, coming from New Orleans, but it doesn't matter. They were here, we were here to help them, and a lot of these people,
home first.
Right? That was the most comforting thing they saw, you know, from the time that they had experienced the storms.
Right. Wow.
So I would have to say that was one of my most, you know, memorable moments. Just the, you know, the sheer emotion, you know, dealing with the children. You had families that were in San Antonio, and the rest of the families in Dallas. Nobody knew, you know, where each other were at. So, and since then we've, you know, the state of Texas has put a lot of funding into SNET's equipment. It's a tracking system that we use to be able to keep track of family members, so they all end up in the same place, including pets, because that was also a big thing that we found out, that, you know, a lot of people did not want to leave their pets. And at that time, you know, it was like, you know, get on the hoist, you got to go, you know. And for, say, an elderly couple, I mean, not a couple, but a person, that's all they have, that's their family, and you just separated them from them. That sometimes causes more issues than you actually help.
Well, you brought forth like a very humanistic perspective of, I don't think we really got, I mean, we got the, you know, the proud moments when they made or when they got their medal, but this was really cool. Wow.
You know, and there's a lot of different aspects of military that, you know, more than, you know, blowing up stuff and, you know, all the exciting things. I mean, but there's, you know, other things that go along there also.
Now this tracking device, how
It's GPS tracking, use wristbands.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I was imagining like, oh Lord, I know animals are microchipped. Like, good Lord, did they do that to people? Like,
I mean,
what?
we literally track everything, even down to like
You never know. I had to ask.
to the wheelchairs. We'll put the little band on the
You right,
wheelchairs.
act like he
and all
knew
that
the
good
answer
stuff,
already.
I knew that was an answer.
Fair enough. Damn it.
Next question.
Next question. What drove you forward in your military career?
Well, I come from a
What drives you?
military family. My dad flew helicopters in the Army. My sister was commander in the Navy.
Wow.
So I was next. Of course, that was my goal and dream to be in the military. So,
Oh.
when you grow up around it, you tend to do what you see your father do. Because I was fortunate to have a wonderful father figure, and pretty much everything he's done, I'm doing. So,
Aww.
so yes.
And that's a beautiful tie-in to the story you told earlier about your son.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. Wow, so you knew from an early age, like you wanted to be like Pop.
Yes. And that kind of ties into my aviation photography, because ever since about age 2, I've been around helicopters.
Wow.
No, we around helicopters.
Yep.
No, why were
Oh,
you?
because my dad flew them.
Oh, okay.
So he would come fly over the house, hit us with a spotlight when he'd go to
Oh,
reserve drills. I'd
that
go
is
and
cool.
sit in the hangars and play in the Huey helicopters all day long, and so that became a passion and love even to this day.
Aww.
That is not fair whatsoever, man. Come on, man. That is not fair at all. Flew over the house and hit y'all with the spotlight. How you know it wasn't the Dirty Birds out there?
Well, see, back then we didn't have the same issues we got going on now. The helicopter come up nowadays and hit the spotlight, everybody runs.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
The whole neighborhood.
Oh, that's great. So, do you have? And it's funny. This question doesn't work because you're still in. But have you had any regrets up to this point?
Yeah,
And
so.
are you doing anything to fix those regrets?
I have no regrets about joining. I mean, it's just like anything else that you have to put time and effort into it. I mean, there have been times that I haven't been at home. Haven't been. I've missed athletic events, school events, but that's part of it.
Yeah.
And I have no regrets.
Wow.
No schooling regrets. No advancement regrets.
No, like if I had
No.
to do it again, this is what I would do
If
differently.
I had to do it all over again, I would still do it. That's one thing I've noticed as I've gotten older and wiser. I used to always say, man, I wish I could do this, or do something different. Well, it made me who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to change anything that happened in the last 45 years, I may not be sitting right here.
That is an awesome attitude. I like that, and great perspective. Which ties in the next one. Do you have any advice for future military personnel?
Definitely. Any young recruits or prospects, just do your homework, research the different branches and what they have to offer. And
Well, that came
make
up
sure,
with every guest. They say the same thing.
make sure that
Research.
what you're looking for, that particular branch is going to give it to you, because recruiters will tell you a little bit of anything. Sign-on bonuses, you get to do this, but
That's familiar.
but you need to, as a person, an individual, do your own research, and if this is where you want to be, what jobs are available that can springboard you into a good career path in civilian life. Because unfortunately, there's really not very many civilian jobs for killing. For being an infantry, you need to go out here, look at some of the aerospace stuff, the communications aspect. There's a lot of job fields within the military that'll translate over into civilian world.
Wow.
And negotiate.
Yep.
And
Negotiate.
you've actually done that, right, Tim? I mean, you've carried what you did, and it really started at a very early age. You said with your dad being around aviation, helicopters, and stuff. So that started your love for helicopters early
Yes.
on, and then so you joined the military, following in your dad's footsteps. But beyond the military, you're also keeping that passion alive through your photography.
Correct. It was unfortunate I wasn't able to fly in the military due to, eyesight and all that good stuff. But, I can still fly as a civilian, so I'm currently working on my private pilot airplane license, so I should be done with that in another couple of months, as well as I work for a helicopter magazine, which also gives me the ability to get a chance to fly in helicopters and take pictures, write articles for the magazine. So I'm surrounded with my love of helicopter aviation. So I'm just doing everything I can to continue.
Wow. And how long have you been doing that aerial photography?
Ooh, professionally
We'll get to
now,
see
I'm
that
sitting
in a little
about
bit.
probably about 10 years.
Wow.
I've been doing it professionally. So,
That is cool. Will we get to see some of that?
Well, why don't we see some of it? We checked out some of his pictures earlier, and we're going to put them up. We did cut off his face, but nice pictures.
Here, why don't you scoot over here?
But that's right there, that's a cool shot. I really like that, and I picked that one up first. And I swear I be seeing some of those helicopters flying by all the time when I'm at work. And I just wondered, you mentioned it, I was like, were you part of that?
could have been.
Oh,
Yes, this way so they can see it. There you go. See? There we go.
Well, let's see. And that's his name of his company, Triple P Studios. So tell us a little bit about Triple P Studios while we look at some of these pictures.
Well, Triple P, that's a part of what I do. That's a lot of the portrait, headshot, model photography, more the humanistic side of the photography world. And then, of course, my aviation aspect, goes on a little bit differently with the magazines and whatnot. But yes, Triple P, modeling, a lot of models do their photography.
Yeah. Actors,
headshots pretty much anybody that needs photography services, we're
family
able to,
pictures, which I definitely want to do some family
senior portraits, pet photography.
So Wong pictures. Apparently there's a lot of So Wong pictures.
Yes.
That's somebody special.
Yeah, that's my 16-year-old son. Hopefully he'll be following my footsteps, going military also.
Oh.
So yes.
So tell us about that. What happened with this?
Wow, the
Why are we
timing
seeing
was
these
just...
pictures? And why is she doing kung fu right here?
Well,
What's the thinking behind this?
well, this is a woman with many talents.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
And I figured that was the best way we could capture all of those talents is through the lens of the camera. And there's a lot more to go.
And I actually did that martial arts photo shoot with a friend of mine who's a fellow actor, Frank Kim. He's a real martial artist, so he knows the stuff. And it was his idea, actually. He originally wanted two ladies fighting, so he wanted a fighting shoot, and we did that on Valentine's Day, and we thought it was kind of a funny joke. Like on Valentine's Day, instead of having a lovely romantic time, this is what we did on Valentine's Day. We were trying to kill each other.
Yeah, it looked like you almost killed him with that. and there's a lot more pictures. You should check out more of these pictures on Facebook on Triple P Photography, correct?
Triple P Photo Studios.
Photo Studios. Whoa. So, what does Triple P stand for?
Oh, well, myself.
Don't say Piss Poor Planet, because that's
well, funny, my business partner, Brian Papke, his last name starts with a P. Timothy Pruitt, my last name starts with a P, and then Portrait. So, Triple P or Pruitt, Papke Pruitt Photo Studios.
Oh, so I'm trying to get him from behind the...
So, yes.
Okay.
So that's what that came about. So yeah, the two of us are out here and trying to change the way photography is done in Austin and surrounding areas.
All right. That sounds good. Man, I appreciate you being here. This was a great interview. I learned some stuff that I definitely didn't know. And veterans come in all shapes and sizes.
That's right.
Even active duty veterans. It's pretty good. And I will be looking out for you in the future, especially looking out for more pictures. I'm sure there'll be some more Matrix pictures coming out pretty soon.
Oh, yes.
And with the
and Mr. Durite, you could have pictures taken too. Engagement photos.
Weddings, maybe.
Wow. Okay. So
we didn't just put him on blast.
Wow. So we will be back after this message from Richard. And so I can get so long straight here. All right. Randall, please take us out of here.
Richard's Nugget. Leadership is all about relationships. Where there's no relationship, there's no leadership. Now, the good part about not having a relationship with someone is if they're not close to you, they can't hurt you. The bad part about not having a relationship with those that you're trying to lead is if they're not close to you, they can't help you. Welcome to another edition of Pathways, your leadership connection, giving you the tools you need to take your leadership to a whole nother level. Well, my name is Richard Helen. I'm your certified speaker, coach, and trainer, and member of the John Maxwell team. Each time I come before you, I have 3 simple goals. I want to encourage you, I want to empower you, and I always hope to enlighten you. Today we're going to talk about another one of my favorite topics: how to be successful in your organization. The 5 levels of leadership from Mr. John Maxwell. Power of serving. The leadership role of the man in the marriage. Whether you're married or whether you're single, this might be worth listening to.
Bam! We back. Thanks for checking us out on Sea Stories with Mr. Durite with your host, Mr. Durite, and the lovely
So Wong.
We appreciate you so
Definitely.
much. The 2 people that watch this show, let me say thank you and thank you for checking us out. Thanks for coming back week after week, putting up with me and So Wong, all in your face, all taking up your time. You could be sitting up here watching Walking Dead, but you're sitting here watching us, and man, if you're watching us on Walking Dead, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. But anyway, thanks for checking us out on Sea Stories with Mr. Durate. And until next time, peace.